witnessing to a beautiful love story this afternoon on Kababayan, LA. Together for 35 years, but from different backgrounds. So Hale is Filipino, Juan is African American, different religious backgrounds as well. One is Catholic, and you were raised Pentecostal. But you're both Catholic now? Or
I practice no religious.
Practice no religious. Okay. Is that a problem?
No, it hasn't been. I think we have similar values. We're both from the same tradition, general Christian tradition. So, you know, the values are pretty much the same.
So what are the issues in your relationship?
Well, I think
what do you fight about?
The most recently has been, we're at that stage where we're looking at our next phases in life. We're in our 60s now. So we're looking at what retirement looks like. So being able to deal with what does that life look like given the fullness of what we've experienced over the previous decades, and how do we manage to that? For me, I love to hold on to things,
right?
You know, keep the stability.
Okay.
Juan is the one who always challenges.
Like more adventurous and.
Let's live outside of the box.
Right.
You
right.
know?
But when you were younger, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
Wasn't it the other way around? Wasn't it you that wanted to live life?
Well, we both were very adventurous. I think that's one of the things that we kept in mind, is that we had the opportunity to appreciate our lives and have friends with other people. And it was during one of those experiences that I became infected with HIV. And it was the most horrendous experience.
Okay. When you said you had experiences with other people,
yes.
So did you had an open relationship, was that correct? Or did
That's
you
correct.
Actually break up? Okay, you had an open relationship. And then?
And finding out that I was HIV positive was a traumatic experience, needless to say. Juan was away. He was vacationing. We'd take separate vacations. We'd lived different times in different places apart. But we still made that general commitment to one another. He came back from his trip, and I told him. And I was thinking to myself, I had seen this happen before when people had told those that they thought who loved them that they were infected and they got kicked out. And I thought, is that going to happen to me?
So you were scared more than anything, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought I only had 7 years left to live at that time.
Did you have an idea what Gil was going to tell you?
No. I would like to clarify this concept of, I wouldn't describe our relationship as an open relationship,
right.
Quite like as I think it was more in the context that sometimes things happen, and when you're I think the difference between gay relationships, and I'm not all gay relationships, but a lot of gay relationships, there's a certain recognition that things do happen.
You mean physical needs?
Yeah, physical circumstances can happen where one person is involved with someone else.
Right.
But it's not anything that you do as a common practice.
Right. So it's not swinging in the way that we think it is.
Right.
But because you also said something about being committed to each other.
Exactly.
So then having that commitment is not really, I guess, the same as having an open relationship, correct?
Right.
Okay. So so you knew that he, made a mistake, probably?
I felt that there could be a situation where you'd make a mistake. I certainly didn't expect it to happen because Gil was, we both were aware at the time that, there were risk factors involved in, sexual relationships. I'm presently a nurse. I actually worked in an HIV clinic, not clinic, but an HIV ward. So, I was familiar.
You were exposed to this, you knew.
And
so when he first told you, how did you tell him? Did you sit him down? Did you just say it outright? Did you beat around the bush? Did you, were you
I was
crying?
trying to recall. I'm sure I was very emotional. I'm an emotional individual. I was a basket case, most likely. And I was just frightened. I didn't know where to turn to. I didn't even tell my family at that time.
So you told Juan first?
Yes.
Okay. What was your reaction?
Well, it's hard to predict beforehand how you're going to react. And I didn't, as I said, I wasn't expecting it. my first reaction was to be concerned about him. And
Oh, what a sweet guy.
And
that's not the normal reaction.
No, it was really to be concerned about him because I again, partly I guess because I had experience in that area, but also I think it was a process where you learn how to love someone, and it was like it's kind of you get to the place where it's inconceivable for you to not feel that you want to help them or support them, et cetera, et cetera.
But you can support them and help them from a distance as a friend. You didn't have to be in a relationship. So what made you lead to that decision, and how was it like for you? Was there guilt? You know, was it a source of tension in your relationship, 35 years together? And we'll talk about that. And you mentioned that word love. And this is really a true example of, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about that, learn about love, when we return on the show from this wonderful couple. Don't go away.